Hello, you're listening to Count Richard von Coudenhove Kalergi. Today is Friday, the 20th of January, just outside the Dail here with some of the crew from Let's Wake Up Our Capital. And I have one of the gentlemen here who's been a stalwart at this and met many times since the summer. And I just thought if you want to say a couple of words as to why you're here and what your fears are for future Ireland.
Not a bother, Kevin. Like Wake Up Our Capital. We need to wake the people of this country up to what's going on at the moment. This government have an agenda called Agenda 2040 where they want to increase the population of this country up to, I've been here to tell, 10 million people. That's doubling the population. Now you're after giving me a figure there a few minutes ago about how many people came into the country.
Yes.
This is a plantation of... Now, these people are pawns in the game as well. They are the refugees, but they're not coming from the Ukraine as we are being led to believe, as a lot of people think. They're not coming from war-torn countries. There's lots of people from Georgia, there's lots of people from Somalia, from India, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but like, I've seen the busloads of them getting off. They look like they're military-aged men. A lot of them, judgment, but they're not like the brightest looking tools in the box, you know what I mean? They're not coming here, they don't look like they're coming here to work, a lot of them, you know. I don't know. We don't know what they're here for, and that's a fear, that's putting fear into people, but basically we're not being told the truth about why they're here, basically, and there's way too many of them. This is like going to change the demographic of this country completely. Like, we could literally be wiped out in a generation or two generations.
Well, it is suggested that last year that more people came in 1 year than all those that came in during the Ulster plantations within 1 year.
That's what you were telling me.
Yes,
that is an amazing fact.
Yes.
Like, that is an incredible fact to actually get your head around.
There's close to 100,000.
That's incredible.
That doesn't take into account people in this country that are here illegally.
Yes.
You know.
But the actual fact that you can come on a plane with no documentation. Could you even imagine contemplating doing that as an Irish person, going to any other country in the world?
Where it's tolerated. But it's like
you
as
would
if
be thrown out of the airport at your point of entry if you have no documentation. This is crazy stuff.
Well, it's like as if they're waiting for an opportunity for any crisis anywhere in the world to have an excuse to bring people into Ireland.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be war, whether it be
Ireland and
famine,
Denmark.
and now this nonsense of saying about climate change. Seriously.
Oh my God. There's a few of them across the road now protesting today about it.
It got too cold for them. It wasn't warm enough, so they disappeared. It was too cold. So, you know.
Yeah, that climate change is a complete scam. Yeah. And like, let's wake up our capital. We have been lied to, and this is what me and Kevin were talking about. We have been lied to about everything. We've been lied to about the efficacy of the jib jab.
Yeah.
And
taking the soup.
Yes, taking the soup. They're still advertising it on the television, on Tina G in Irish and RTE in English. They are advertising, go and get your flu and your COVID.
Yeah.
Now,
I was listening to actually a good one the other day. It was actually on the Richie Allen show, who had a clip from RTE, and he gave some very interesting statistics. And that was regarding the Kraken variant, which is soon to be released.
The Kraken
variant. Seize the Kraken.
They make me laugh. Yes.
But so for the second, the fourth bowl of soup, all right.
Yes.
For 18 plus, only 31% across all the population have actually accepted the fourth bowl of soup.
Okay.
And the age group that is available for that is actually 4.9 million people, and only 31%. Now, interestingly, and more interesting the whole lot, is that 25% of all healthcare workers haven't taken the bowl of soup.
Brilliant.
So what do they know?
Yes.
You know? And of the 18 to 49 age group, only 76,000 of the 210,000 that would be available have accepted the bowl of soup.
Okay.
Isn't that something?
It is.
That actually gives us hope.
Yes.
You think all the effort that the people have put in here over the summer, you know, at handing out leaflets, that it may be actually growing fruit, that the seeds of doubt have been planted.
Yes,
and it's growing fruit. I'll pick up that in a second. You know, but that's grand. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I'm just basically, what I'd like to say, you know, we all know that this has been a pandemic.
I'll just get a picture of your sign. That's perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. Sorry, Kevin, we all know that people were coerced into getting this.
Yes.
I have heard stories from nurses who actually left work because they couldn't afford to get PCR tested every week. They had to pay for their own PCR tests out of their own wages, €60 a week.
Yeah.
And they €240 a month, they couldn't afford it and had to leave work. Now,
well, I met a chap during the week who was actually a retired fireman, and he was relaying a story to me, rather tragically, of a guy in his 30s who, because of an infection when he was a teenager, needed a kidney transplant, was given a kidney transplant by his mum, and after taking his second bowl of soup, passed away 3 weeks and was found asleep at home in bed. He came in from work, and his brother went up to tell him that his dinner was ready, and he found his own brother dead. You know, so many times are instances like this being replicated across the state.
This is what I cannot understand.
Yes.
For an Irish nation, we love to talk.
Yeah.
Lots of people love to talk about who died in the village or in your community. Nobody's talking about the excess deaths. Died suddenly.
Right.
Died suddenly. Died. It's incredibly in your face.
Right.
And this is, you know, this is genocide. I'm sorry to say. Like,
it is.
You know, we're kind of. It's kind of. We've been saying this for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
We knew all this information. We knew how corrupt Pfizer were.
Yeah.
They have the world record for the most criminally incompetent company. They are fraudulent.
And look at even the Pfizer document. I have a copy of it myself.
Yes.
It's 39 pages long, and the last 9 pages are a list of 9 pages of adverse reactions, which they wanted buried for 75 years.
75 years.
And it was thanks to a Supreme Court judge from Texas that said no, the public had a right to know, and they released 55,000 documents.
Yes.
Extraordinary stuff, you know.
But to have over 1,200 people die in the first 3 months, if 50 people died on any other vaccine, they would have pulled the plug on it immediately. We've been through all this crap before. We've had the swine flu, we've had H1N1, we've had the narcolepsy people are only getting compensated now a decade later after the last
true.
pandemic.
I met a chap as well, actually at one of these, who was injured from that.
Yes.
And he was trying to tell his family, don't take the soup.
Yes.
And they all took the soup.
Yes.
Extraordinary. All right, listen, I'm going to pause that. Thanks very much for for your kind words, and I'm sure we'll see each other again on the streets. All right. Right, folks, I'm just over here with Barry from Let's Wake Our Capital Up, and he's very kindly stopped to say a few words about what the group actually want to do for future.
Hi guys. So we're here outside Leinster House. Great turnout, about 25 of us. All the people that have worked with us since May are here. Actually, all the stalwarts, the ones that came to all the events. So I'm absolutely delighted because it's kind of a real personal event today.
And I bought 2 signs.
Did you buy 2, Kev?
I did. I couldn't resist. Fiver Friday.
Friday. Yeah. We sold a few signs because we're going to change our approach now. Because we're dealing with a population that are now kind of waking up. You know, so we're winding down the Let's Wake Up Our Capital projects because we were just out to call out the vaccine. That was our sole purpose, right? The soup. We're here to call out the soup. So
it has an Irish connection with the famine.
Yes,
taking the soup.
Yes. Take the soup. So yeah, we were here to call that out, and absolutely 94 times, Kevin. This is our 94th event.
Serious?
Yeah, it's our 94th. We went to 23 different locations, Dublin and surrounding counties.
God bless your energy, Barry.
We produced over 400 message boards.
Right.
We got 210,000 flyers into the public domain. We started with nothing. We're finishing in debt.
Like everybody else.
Like everyone else. Yeah.
Right.
We started with nothing. We're finishing in debt.
Yeah.
But it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I need to wind down a little bit. I'm going to take a couple of weeks off.
Yeah.
I'm going to travel around the west of Ireland.
Good for you.
I've wrote a few songs, a few poems, so I'm going to get my nephew.
If you can remember off the top of your head, you're more than welcome.
No, I can't. I'm a brutal singer. Like I don't. The pen to paper is all right. But
that's only reserved for the share, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
an audience of one.
So I'm looking forward to that and just taking a break, and I just need to get away from soup stuff for a little while. I've been like 2 years in the soup.
Right.
And it's 12 hours a day in the soup.
I recommend leek and potato.
It's 12 days. It's 12 hours a day in the soup.
Yeah.
And it's 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's just not. It's never ending.
Right.
And we built something, and it's just taking all my time now to keep the show on the road.
Yeah.
So I just need to take a back step,
Gotcha.
and we want to change our approach. Like, you know, we're not an organisation as such. We don't have political ambition, and we don't have a political ethos. So we're very much, we just kind of get together and we say, what type of messages will we bring? And you know, nobody kind of directs.
Peace and love, Barry. That's what we bring.
Peace and love.
And
yeah, we
information.
do bring peace and love. Yeah.
Yes.
So. So we're just going to switch it around a little bit, and more people are going to step up now and start to take more front roles, and it's not going to be so much only one or two of us taking on the bulk of the work. So we'll be back out. We'll be back out under Wake Up Era, and there's a website there. The website is going to be very good in a few weeks. We're just kind of working on it at the moment. And we're going to put up all our stuff, all our flyers, all our boards, and we're going to have one event a week on a Saturday around Dublin.
Great.
And we're just going to go to one place for 1 week, and then we're going to move on to the next place.
Perfect.
And a couple of the guys here are going to start running their own events.
Nice one.
Darren and Aisling are outside with the soup makers. Soup makers.
They've made was it 100 billion selling that soup since
100 billions worth of soup.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is. Look, the truth is coming out. It's not going to be held back much longer. The soup is not safe, and the soup is definitely not effective. I mean, if you have to have 5 or 6 soups to be full, the soup is not good enough.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean?
And yet nobody knows what's in the soup.
No one knows what's in the soup. Yeah,
Amazing,
but it doesn't fucking taste very nice, apparently. You know, and. I think the chefs need to get around and make a new soup. And maybe we move to a new menu and move away from soup, and we got to get more wholesome options, you know. But
supplements.
I'm absolutely honoured, Kevin. And I'm honoured to have found the most wonderful people.
Isn't it something?
That I knew that if we just created the space and we said, look, we're going to call out the soup. Not everybody wanted to call out the soup, and I just thought
it reminds me of the line from the Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come.
Ah, brilliant. Look, I used that line. I used that line so many times throughout this. I was saying, just get the boards, get the messages, go out, call it out, and the right people will step in. I always knew that hordes of people wouldn't come in to call this out. I knew that wouldn't be the case, but what I also knew when I started on this, I thought the people that do step forward, they won't need to be led. They will be they'll be assertive people.
But there's a spiritual dimension to this too, Barry.
100%.
There's no such thing as chance meetings. So I think a lot of these meetings...
Thank you! Hey! Hey!
Good lad.
Up there with that!
That's a lot of these meetings are preordained. You know, and we're presented with messengers along the way.
Well, look,
and it's up to us to listen to the message.
God's back in my life.
Oh, wonderful.
You know, I have to say that when I started to see the demons, I said, well, look, if that's there, and when I kind of pieced this together, that it could be actually very sinister. I was very depressed for a few weeks. This was before I came active, before I started opposing. I was very down for a couple of weeks, and then I was sitting on my balcony one evening, and I just got filled with this beautiful feeling. It just overwhelmed me, and I just knew that I was just being asked to oppose. That's what was being said to me. It was just, you go out there and you oppose this. That's what I want you to do. And from there on in, I stopped seeing a black shadow around these people, because I was seeing a shadow around Varadkar and Boris Johnson, and there was a shadow around them. I knew they were peddling death and fear and lies, and so that's from that moment on I stopped being afraid. I started to see these people for what they are. They're the worst in our society, and the elites have grabbed these people and are using them to inflict this on us. And
well, if I may suggest, there's actually a movie called The Parallax View by Warren Beatty in the 1970s.
Thank you.
And it basically is that they need certain type personalities to be able to conduct, and how they did it was through personality tests. So it's a very clever way, and I recommend it as a movie for people to watch. The Parallax View. I'll send you a link to it.
Myself, Kevin, people like Stephen Donnelly and all of that. They
Manchurian candidates.
They get these people from a very young age.
Yes.
Because they have that gene. Yes. They have the gene, then they know that these people are corruptible.
Sure.
That they're power hungry, that they're psychopathic, that they're lacking empathy, and they're lacking God. They've no God.
Yeah.
Because you can't have any God and inflict this on your own people.
Yeah.
You have to be godless.
Absolutely.
You know, so these people are handpicked from a very young age, and they're groomed, and they're put into positions of power, and they're here to do these horrible things, because only horrible people will do these horrible things. And but look, the day of reckoning is coming, an awakening is happening.
Well, there's a phrase Pearse used in a speech at the graveside of O'Donovan Rossa. Splendid and holy people.
Yeah.
And that springs to mind.
Well, and a worldwide awakening is happening. The world is never going to be the same again.
Yes.
The pharmaceutical companies are never going to be seen again. For decades they've been keeping us sick. They make millions of pounds from keeping us sick.
Right.
That's their job.
And do doctors even have to take a Hippocratic oath
I
anymore?
heard they stopped taking it.
Right.
I've been told they stopped taking it. I think they stopped a few years ago.
Right.
So look, thanks for the chat.
Okay, thanks very much, Barry.
And,
God bless your work.
To anyone out there who's worked with us over the last 9 months, and there's so many, hundreds of people came out at the events, dozens of people supported us in the background. A lot of them are here now today.
Right.
I just want to thank you all, and I look forward to working with you in the future, and this time I'm going to be going to your events and I'm going to just bring a board and go to your event, and then I'm going to go home and you're going to be the one that has to worry about packing all the boards away, drying all the boards, organising everything. Someone else is going to do all that.
And then have a bowl of soup after.
Yeah, have a bowl and stay away from the soup, guys.
All right, thanks very much,
Kerry.
Barry. God bless. I was talking to a lady yesterday, took 5 bowls of soup. Imagine that. 5 bowls of soup. That's wonderful. Perfect, thanks very much.
We're stating the obvious here.
I think so too.
People die. But,
Very true.
We continue to state the obvious.
It's a great sign. Well done.
Brilliant. Well done to Barry and everybody.
Absolutely. Sterling work. A lot of support here today, passing public transport, which is great. Right folks, I'm just here with Jenny, the lovely Jenny, who's I've met her in Barrow Street and so many years ago at this stage, but she had a great result during the week there where her case was thrown out, and I wondered if you would be kind enough to say a few words about your case to give hope to those that have cases that are pending.
Yes, I
All right.
Well, our crime was attending a prayer meeting in St. Bridget's Shrine in Cohort in January 2021,
Right.
which is quite a while ago now.
Wow.
And,
2 years ago.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
I'm not going for it,
I'm just stuttering a bit here, sorry.
Yeah.
But anyhow, a good few people were arrested on the day. I gave my details a couple of times to guards.
Right.
Some people managed to... Well, the point was that the prayer meeting went off very peacefully until the end when a huge squad of guards showed up.
Right.
And a lot of people escaped through the hedges and ditches, but some of us, seriously, a lot of us just...
Cross-country running, eh?
Yeah. Oh, I'd say anybody looking from above, say a drone, would have seen all, people scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I gave my details twice. The second time, I was just giving my details to this guard here, and this guy Fergal was having his head bashed off the ground.
I've met Fergal a few times.
Yes, so I somehow managed to get out the phone and video that or stream it. I don't know how I did, because I was talking to this guard, and then this guard came and says, "What are you recording?" And I said, because I see this fellow has a bloody nose, and I was expecting to get my phone taken off me, but he didn't. So I didn't hear anything until last October when I got this summons. And I think normally you would get a fine or something.
Nearly a year and 10 months later.
Yes.
Extraordinary.
So I was quite taken aback, I must say, because I had put it out of my mind. So anyhow, I made up my mind to defend myself, and I had got advice from a few people. So I wrote out this affidavit, and it was very short, just describing what happened on the day, but I also stated that I have been working as a digital journalist for a few years because I've
digital journalist.
Yes.
Interesting.
And I also put in a paragraph about the fact that the COVID regulations were open to question, that nobody seemed to be really sure whether they were legal or not.
Legal or lawful?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then when I went to court, the judge hadn't received the affidavit, and he said, "Oh, where is it?" And the guards passed it up to him, and he had a quick read through it, and he said, no, this woman is a journalist, and she has raised a legal point, and I what she called striking out the case.
Fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Delighted to hear that.
And some people in the court started to clap, and that didn't go down well with the judge at
Right.
all.
And in relation to describing oneself as a citizen journalist, would Facebook account, would that help? YouTube account?
I do have a YouTube account which doesn't have much on it because I was getting strikes and I was getting them censored when I was doing them. So I was very cautious what I put onto YouTube. But
Gotcha.
I have a lot of, I've been doing them since Barrow Street.
Yeah, maybe in Barrow Street.
Yes.
Amazing.
And I felt quite confident about, about that.
Yeah.
And I gave a few links to a few of the videos. And what else did I supply? Oh, I supplied a copy of the first
Are you
page.
the same ones for the vaccinated thing, are you? Yes. I was just I don't like being recorded.
Yeah.
Right,
I can talk to you in a second then if you wish.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm just finishing.
You're finished
up in
anyway.
A second.
Okay.
No, just want to say I also attached the paragraph from our passport which says the Minister for Justice asks that the bearer of this is, given leave to travel freely.
Okay.
And I thought that was quite good. But anyhow, maybe he wanted to let people off.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thanks very much, Jenny. Thank you for your good news, and keep up your wonderful work and all the reporting that you
We're all
do.
doing our best.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks.
It's a great crowd, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
I'm just do a quick recording of the signs here now. That's why I don't like electric cars. You can't hear them. It's lethal, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
I wonder how many people get run over by the Virtue vehicle because you can't hear them.
And that was the best thing about having engines. Stop being able to hear.
I'm an engines man myself. My favourite car was a 3-litre Mercedes.
Really?
Oh yeah. With a beautiful sound off the engine. Right folks, I'm just here with Katrina from Let's Wake Up Our Capital, and she's going to say a couple of final words if she'd be kind enough to say a couple of reflections on her freezing during the last couple of months.
Hi, it's been absolutely mind-blowing in so many different ways, both positive and negative. I was fooled by the narrative, and I was in the matrix with
So you
all
took
my
the
family.
soup, did you?
I did take the soup.
Right.
Yes, not realising that it was going to burn me.
Oh dear.
And burned me bad, and
Sorry to hear that.
all my family have taken it, and and they totally love the soup.
Right.
And the more soup they can get off the government, and they believe everything that RT says, and
Right.
they're wallowing in it.
Okay, so all these soup kitchens that have been set up by the state,
Yeah.
they can't get enough of it.
No, can't get enough.
Oh dear.
Yeah, my mum has had 5 bowls.
5 bowls of soup.
Yeah, different ones.
And she's still
everything.
hungry.
Yeah, she is actually,
Wow.
but she is not well.
Oh dear.
She is
Sorry to
so
hear
not
that.
well. I don't know whether there was a fly in the soup or what
Yes.
it was, but
Well.
yeah, she's not well since her 5th bowl of soup, and she's deteriorating an awful lot,
Right.
and it's hard to see her deteriorating. But this journey has really opened my eyes.
Yeah.
I don't want to frighten her
Yeah.
but at the same time I'd love if she listens, but at the same time she's probably got to the stage where I don't want to frighten her.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do as much as I can now for myself. Like I said, it's been very interesting. I had no idea what was going on, and I'm so glad I do now.
Right.
I really am. And
So what was your wake-up moment, Katrina? Where did you suddenly realise something wasn't quite right?
well, I was standing in the queue for my soup,
Right.
and didn't feel that was right, and then I wasn't too happy about getting the beef soup.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the third bowl.
Yeah, turbo.
Yeah, because and I was kind of getting suspicious. I was going, this is crazy. Like, I should be satisfied enough with just having the 2 bowls.
Yeah.
And then it ends up. So then I made up my mind I wasn't going to. And while I was standing in the line for the second one, I was going, no, this is enough. I'll have enough. I don't feel that And then you start pushing, people to try and drink more soup, and I was going, no, this really doesn't fit. And then I was going, it should have done it, it should have filled us, and that should have been enough.
Yeah.
For what it was for, like, it was supposed to be protecting us, giving us vitamins and kind of boosting. But I don't feel that it did that, and I wasn't told the full truth about all the ingredients and how they made it.
Okay.
And
the fact that it was rushed.
How sick I kind of know the way you can get food poisoning and that.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So and I didn't realise that I was going to get pains in my stomach and how it was going to actually affect me physically, but also emotionally and mentally.
Right.
It's just been quite a confusing time, but at the same time, since I started this, it's really opened my eyes, and I've met some absolutely amazing people.
Isn't it something?
They're just amazing, and it's lovely to see so many here, and you're sort of going, oh yeah, oh my god, oh yeah, and you start going, oh, because we've been to so many different events,
absolutely.
You forget.
It's like a brotherhood.
It's fantastic. It's
yeah,
like
it
a
is,
family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because I'd be one of the very few that actually had the soup.
Okay.
And believed it, and most of everybody else doesn't like the soup and they didn't like the taste of it or anything. Yeah. So but they've accepted me, and they feel that I'm very brave, which I don't feel. But I've gotten my voice. I think I found my voice, and I feel much stronger for it.
Fantastic.
And I feel that if anything does happen to me, at least
it's like an awakening.
Very
and
much
suddenly
so.
you realise, like, the scales have come off your eyes. It's a bit like St. Paul when he meets Ananias. He was persecuting the Jews, and he had his instance where he heard the voice of God saying, "Why are you persecuting me?" But he was led into a town where he was to meet a man called Ananias, and the scales, when Ananias touched St. Paul's eyes, the scales removed from his eyes. So this is a bit like us. The scales are being removed from our eyes, and we can see what's going on.
Okay, yeah.
And
it's not just about the soup. There's so many other
correct,
things.
and you realise how deep the deception goes.
Yeah, and because
there's so many layers to all of this.
My mum and dad, they're just such lovely people.
Sure.
They would have just gone on with their lives and believed everything they were told.
Yeah.
And they're not the only kind of family to do that. There's a huge
But it just goes to show
the
power of propaganda and the damage that the trust the science narrative being pushed by RTE and News Talk and other stations.
And it just shows that they really know what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why they get so bloody well paid.
It's so scary.
Yes. They get paid more money than the leaders of countries with the responsibility that they have. Imagine that. There's some guy behind a microphone for a few hours a day. Extraordinary. Even the pigeons don't agree. Well, listen, thanks very much, Katrine. It's very kind of you to speak. And no doubt we'll run into each other at some stage.
Hopefully we
will. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Count Richard signing out. Good afternoon, good luck, and God bless.